Okay, we're going to go over how to read a pump curve, pick the right pump for the application. So when picking a pump to use in a well, assuming that the well produces adequate water, the general rule of thumb is to figure out the pumping level, which is the static water level, less the amount of drawdown that the well has given at a pumping rate, and then, if possible, try to supply the following amount of water based on normal usage. So for the first two homes, you figure 10 gallons a minute per home, and then for each additional home, you figure 5 additional gallons per minute. You do that up to 14 homes. After that, then you're considered a municipal well, and you got to get, or a community well, and you got to get approval from the Minnesota Department of Health. Now, if more than one house has a sprinkling system, then you're going to want to upsize beyond that. Or if they're really, really large houses, you're going to want to take that into consideration too. So now that you know the pumping level and the amount of water needed, you can find your best pump. Generally, use size pumps to deliver the desired flow at 50 psi. If you have a pump chart, you just scroll down from the pumping level and find the flowage needed that exceeds your desired output at 50 psi. If you don't have a chart and you got a graph, then you look for the total dynamic head and feet on the left of the graph. So you add 115.5 to the pumping level. 115.5 is 50 psi times 2.31. So 1 pound of pressure equals 2.31 feet. And then you scroll right across the graph until you find the curve intersection that exceeds your desired gallons per minute. So let's assume that we have a 180-foot pumping level and we're serving one home. So we're at a 10 gallon a minute book here, and we're going to go 180-foot pumping level, and we'll scroll down. One horse only does 9.7, so it's close. Horse and a half does 12.1 at 50 psi. So if possible, you'd use a horse and a half. Different brand pump, same idea. So 180-foot pumping level, add 115 more, so it's going to put you right there close to 300. You're going to scroll across. There's your 10 gallons a minute. Your one horse is just a little bit under it. Your horse and a half exceeds it. So you would pick horse and a half if possible. If they're on a budget or they're already set up with a one horse, then you could probably squeak by with one horse. That's how to read a pump curve.